Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So today's video is going to be an in-shop review. Now this video will be filmed the day before because I was having to film a lot of videos today because I'm having to film like 10 or 15 videos because I'm going on vacation. So some of the deals will be one day later than they say right now, but that's really the only thing in here. But yeah, we're going to be going over the entire store, and I'm going to be talking about each thing in here, not the most amount of time, but just enough so that you guys get a general idea of whether it is worth it or not. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So the Phoenix. Now the 047 Phoenix, in my opinion, is an okay tank. I think it's worth the 5.5k gold though, especially with the 30 days of premium, 500k credits, and all the other stuff in there. It's an okay tank, about a 5.5 second reload for 225 alpha or so. An okay armor, well actually a decent armor profile to be honest, and then not bad mobility at all, so I would say this deal is definitely worth it. Now, moving on to container collection. Now, I would definitely recommend going for the 12,000 gold one here because usually people have some gold at least, and they can just spend, $10 or so to get enough gold for that. But if you do, not have any gold, go for the $25 one. If you are going for the container collection, which I would not recommend. These ones really, I have not gotten any tanks ever from container collections, and at least I think, I'm trying to remember, and I've done them 3 or 4 times. Yeah, they don't seem to be worth it to me. Everyone else always seems to be getting good stuff from here, but never me, so from my experience, these are definitely not worth it. Now moving on to 7 Lucky 7 Containers. Now these are pretty cheap though, so these aren't a horrible deal just for how cheap they are. You get a chance at any of these tier 7 tanks in here with a drop chance of 7%, which honestly isn't horrible. 7 containers, 7% drop chance out of all those tier 7s. To be honest, I don't think this is a horrible deal right here for only 3,000 gold, especially for crates, so honestly, it's not a horrible one. Next up, we have the Sinister Concealment Containers. Now, these, I'm pretty sure, have a guaranteed chance to get you a camouflage. I'm not sure. I think it's guaranteed chance in here. But I'm pretty sure it is. And if it is, I still honestly wouldn't go for this just because I don't think camos are worth quite that much. But if you're really into camos, I mean, maybe it's worth it here because I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, there's a 100% chance to get one of these. Like, you have to get it. I'm not sure, though. And if there's not, definitely don't go for that. But moving on now to 2 of a kind. We have the K91 and the SU-130 PM. Not sure why this is in 2 of a kind. These tanks have nothing in common. But yeah, here, both of these tanks, I would say, are good deals here. K91, honestly, one of the best tier 9s in the game. That tank is insane. I would definitely go for that, especially for 10,000 gold. This tank always comes for really cheap prices, and I'm really glad, though, because it is a really good tank to get here. SU-130 PM as well is going to be costing you 8.5k gold here. And this one, I think they could have brought it down maybe to 8k, even maybe 7.5k. But I think this tank is decent. I think it's basically, well, I would say it is a little bit worse than the Scorpion G, though, so if you already have the Scorpion G, I wouldn't recommend getting it, but if you don't have either of these tanks, I would recommend getting it. And as well, of course, I do recommend both those tanks, and if you want 2 of them, and for cheaper, of course, you're going to get this bundle right here, which also I do recommend. So moving on to, these are just more containers right here. We already went over them, just different prices, to the Chieftain Mark 6. Now, this would be an amazing deal right here that I highly recommend. Chieftain Mark 6 is one of my favorite tier 10 heavy tanks, and it is absolutely amazing. As well, this is, I think, the cheapest a tier 10 tank has ever come for. I'm not quite sure, but I think it is, because I've never seen one below 20k, and I'm not sure if, there has been one before I play the game, but it does seem very nice. Moving on now to 2 reliable heavies. Now this is going to be the Chrysler K and the IS-2SH. Now the IS-2SH is, in my opinion, not really that good of a tank, but for 6.5k gold, if you really want the tank, you could get, it's a good deal for it right now. But in my opinion, this tank really just doesn't have it. It doesn't really have the armor. It doesn't really have the mobility. The gun is okay. It has a knife alpha, but in my opinion, that deal isn't worth it. As well, the Chrysler K Tomahawk is actually a decent tank in my opinion, and I do think this deal is worth it right here. But if you're going to get either of these, especially the Chrysler K, you're already at 7.5k gold. You just buy a little bit more and you do get both. So I think the both deal right there I would recommend. Oh, as well for the Mark 6, I think that's going to be gone by the time this video's out, so I'm not sure if that's even going to matter. Sorry for people watching this. And yeah, this can be pretty much it for offers here. So now we are going to be going to the bundle. So we have Chai New Kai containers. Now these containers are for, money, not gold, sadly, and these are going to include a 3% drop chance for the Chai New Ka, which is a tier 5 premium tank. Now this I would definitely not recommend, because it is a tier 5 and they're pretty expensive containers. I mean, they're not like super expensive, but definitely for a tier 5, containers are not something, not something you should be going for if it's in a tier 5. So I really don't recommend these ones right here. I mean, it just seems like such a waste for a tier 5. I mean, come on. Battle Pass here, of course, if you want the stuff, I would go for the Battle Pass, but if you, if you want the tank and you want those rewards, it is a good deal. So, do recommend that as well. The Nimble Locust. Now this is just $3 and you get 7 days of premium as well. So if you are, if you enjoy lower tiers, I would recommend the Locust. But if you really aren't going to play lower tiers like me, I wouldn't recommend it still, just because you're never going to end up playing the tank. Next up, we have subscription to resources. Now basically these are the ones where you log on every day and you get an amount of resources. And it makes them much cheaper, but it makes you want to log on every day so that you'll play the game more. That's kind of the point of these. And these I would also recommend as long as you log on every single day, because otherwise you're not going to be getting your full potential of how much you're going to get from this. And if you do get it all, it is actually a really good deal. Countless treasures here. This is 25,000 gold, 10 million credits, and 100 days of premium. Now this one, if you want the premium and you need the credits, it's good, for the gold. But if you compare that, especially right now, I'll go over it. Gold is double right now, if you didn't know. So the same amount of money, you could get 75,000 gold, 3 times as much, basically. But yeah, it's like half as much gold as, not quite half, but like 10, 11, 12,000 less than if you're going to buy regular one. Right now, it's double, so definitely don't get Countless Treasures right now. Do not get this right now. None of these really right now are worth it, because everything else is doubled in there. But on a normal occasion, these would be, but since they aren't and they're going away in 5 days, none of these. Do not get any of these right here. They are not worth it because of the way the gold is right now, where it is double. So now we move on to the Emoji Light attachments. Now these are weird. Not sure really even why these exist, but definitely wouldn't recommend them, because, they're kind of expensive for just having a little emoji on your tank. No tank right here, $10. Like, I could buy an E25 with that, or I could buy 5 Emoji Light attachments. I wouldn't recommend this right here. But if you really want one, 4,000 gold. If you really want one, but I would not recommend this at all. So yeah, that's going to be everything for the store. I'm just going to go over this real quick here, just so you guys know. If you did not know, this is double right now. Get gold if you're going to get gold at any point, get gold right now, because it is double. As well, you do get the tickets for the for this event right here, the souvenir stall. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the video, guys. That's everything in shop review. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.